So I hit 50, and the world hit me back, in more ways than I care to admit. And sadly, that's no joke. Let me take you back to mid-2022. I was holed up in yet another hotel room, alone in New York City. COVID restrictions were still lingering. I'd missed the last train back upstate. On purpose, or maybe not. You'll know the answer to this by the end of the video. That night, a birthday cake was delivered to my room, a gesture from my boss. Sweet, thoughtful, but in retrospect, maybe a little hollow. Because just weeks later, over a Zoom call, I was pushed out of a career I had loved. 32 years gone in a moment. Not long after that, I tried to walk away from a marriage I had once believed would last forever. Everything stopped. Not slowed. It stopped completely. Now, I had always been fortunate. My life had been organically great. I worked hard. I lived hard. I tried to love hard. From the outside, it looked like a success story. But inside, I was boxed in by roles, timelines, and expectations. There was chaos at home and chaos at work. And I was lost in the middle of it all. This wasn't the cute finding myself kind of lost. It was the what the hell do I do now kind. The kind that's born from confusion, from watching your life slip away and not being able to talk about it. You see, I had felt ashamed, embarrassed, worried about what other people would think. And honestly, I was scared. I was scared that the moment someone actually asked me, "Are you okay?" I'd completely fall apart. So for the first year, I ran. I buried my head in the sand. I traveled, I distracted myself, trying to escape the question I asked myself every day. How did I get here? What do I do next? You see, I'd lived and worked in over 20 countries. I'd stood at the top of my game. My career had taken me on the most extraordinary journey, and I loved it. I loved it all, until I didn't. And when I didn't, it was like watching my life through someone else's eyes. Over time, nothing felt like it belonged to me anymore. I had been living to work, and when things at home began to fall apart, I threw myself into my job even harder because I wasn't ready to face that reality. Eventually, I returned home. I knew what had to be done. But after the trauma I'd endured, I still hesitated. It wasn't until I had no choice. And finally, I got some support, and I went to the courts. Then things began to shift. By mid-2023, I was alone, in my home, and I went to sleep pretty much for 6 months. I'm not joking. I could barely get out of bed. That's when I realized what was really happening. I was grieving. I was grieving the old version of myself, the life I had lived with reckless enthusiasm. The man I had been, the marriage I had tried to hold on to, and somewhere in that grief, I finally accepted that life wasn't coming back, and maybe it shouldn't. If you have ever hit that kind of wall, you know. It's not just a bad day, it's a fog. A fog you can't just wish away. Mine lasted 2 years, but rock bottom gave me something I hadn't had in decades. Quiet. Not just the silence of sadness, though there was plenty of that. It was a stillness, a space, a pause I couldn't outrun. And in that stillness, I heard something I hadn't heard in a very, very long time. Me, my voice, my truth. That quiet became peace. That peace reset everything. I wasn't alone. I wasn't done. I was just being rewritten, and I needed to let myself heal. Now at 53, I feel more alive than I have in years. No longer sorry for myself, no longer hiding behind titles, projects, or the acronyms of companies that used to define me. I'm back in the town I grew up in. But what's wild? The town grew up too. After 35 years, I came back, and somehow it finally feels like home. Sure, I still have a house in the US. I want to sell it. It's not a great time to sell. I've got friends in New York who mean the world to me. I spent half my adult life living outside of Australia. But with all of the chaos over there, it felt like the right time to come home and exhale. The goosebumps I got when I saw the Gold Coast shoreline that day from the plane. Still hard to explain. So if you have stared down your 50s and wondered, what now? You are not alone. This is why I started 50AF. It's not just a YouTube channel. It's a place for us to talk about the messy, the beautiful, the hard, and the hopeful. It's about rewriting our stories on our terms. If you've ever felt like you've had to start over, or like you're still figuring it out, then subscribe. Drop a comment. Tell me what's been hard, because chances are I've been there too. We're going to explore the tools this world is handing us. Creativity, community, and collaboration. And we're going to make the most of every single day. Let's have a real conversation about what it means to be 50 and awesome. And by awesome, I mean authentic, resilient, and unapologetically ourselves. If there's one thing I have learned, it's this. Life gets shorter with every missed moment. We don't have to fake being okay. And we sure as hell don't need permission to start again. Just start, even if it's messy, even if it's late, even if it looks nothing like you imagined. Remember, we're Gen X. We know how to adapt. Welcome to 50AF. Let's do it together.